Good morning. It's January, I don't know what, 12 or 14 or 16.
What's so good about it? What's so good about it?
And you know Mordecai. Mordecai, say hello. Mordecai is such a happy person.
Hello.
We are at Tel Zafit. Wait a minute, here it is. The sun is in our eyes, but that's the way.
Than smoke.
Yeah, it's true.
When smoke gets in your eyes, then you...
Smoke it in your... Yes. And it's green because it's January.
You know why Zahi is singing like this? Because this is the place where they drank beer 3,500 years ago.
Oh, by whom? By whom?
The Philistines.
The Philistines. All right.
Yeah, they made a good beer, and we're going to market it next year. That's going to be our new startup.
Okay.
Philistine beer.
We are at Tel Zafit. Tel Zafit is the city of Gath, one of the 5 cities or main cities of the Philistines.
The main city.
Yeah.
This is the biggest by far.
And what's the difference? Because everyone asks me between the Palestinians and the Philistines.
Well, there's actually no connection.
No connection.
The Philistines, they were guys that came from Greece to around here, around 1200 BC, in waves of immigration. They were defeated by Hazael from Syria. This town was destroyed in about 803 BC. Then they were totally destroyed by the 7th century by Nebuchadnezzar, the guy that destroyed Jerusalem.
Then in that case, they are not exist anymore.
So, the reason that we hear about the Philistines is because the Greek writers knew the coast times, and they wrote about the land of the Philistine hundreds of years after there were no Philistines. I'm talking 6, 7. The name stayed on. The name stayed on in the Greek culture. And then, of course, with Hadrian, after the second rebellion.
Oh, that's an important, because what's happening with Hadrian?
Hadrian was pretty disgusted by the strength of the rebellion that destroyed
the Jewish rebellion.
The Jewish rebellion by Bar Kokhba in 132, 135
AD.
AD.
After
and
Jesus' time.
He wanted to
punish.
No, erase the
All right.
memory
Okay.
of the Jewish kingdom. So he destroyed Jerusalem totally, and rebuilt it, renaming it Elia-Capitolina.
By his family name.
By his name, and then he took Jerusalem,
Israel.
the land, the province of Judea, and he renamed it the province of Philistia. So there is...
The connection is only the name of it. It's
name.
not the same people.
It's not the same people. In fact, the Palestinians have more connection to the Israeli Jews than to the early Philistines. But that's going into politics. And
Yeah, that's a different.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And we are talking about Tel. It sounds funny because I know that word Tel is at the name of Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv.
Tel is a mound of city over city over city, destruction over destruction.
Great.
Many layers here. The earliest layer here is from about the Paleolithic times.
That's more than 4,000 millennium.
Well, that's the earliest, but and the latest was an Arab town here until 1948. Each time the town is destroyed, now you hear about the stone buildings, but only the base was stone. The rest was mud. Anybody comes to conquer it, all those mud walls fall in, and then it rises and rises.
Then it's like a city. Someone came to the city, destroyed it, built a city on top of it. Someone else came, destroyed that part, built a city on top of it.
That's it.
And then Tel Zafit used to be a very important Philistine settlement or city.
It was the biggest. It was
Biggest, even more than Jerusalem at that
I
time.
think that there were 2 cities of that size in the 12th, 11th, and 10th centuries. There were 2 cities of that size in what we call all of Israel today. One would be Hatzor in the north, and Gath was the name.
Which another Philistine city. God, it's here.
Gath
Actually,
is
this is
here.
here.
Gath is
Yeah.
Hatzor was Canaanite. We hear about Deborah. We hear a number of battles against Yavin, king of Hatzor, and we have this one.
Then that city was more important in a way, or bigger than Jerusalem and even Armageddon, Megiddo.
It was 10 times bigger than
Whoa!
Jerusalem. 10 or 8 to 10 times bigger than Jerusalem. This is 45 hectares. 45 hectares, 450 dunams, divide by 4, about 125 acres.
Lots of people.
Upper city, we're walking through the lower city, which was also inhabited and also had defensive walls.
All right, let's read a little bit from the Bible,
Okay,
from the book of Samuel. No, you're gonna do that here. All right, and Samuel's word went forth to all Israel. Israel marched out and the Philistines in battle. Then, Ebenezer, we have to visit it.
Ebenezer?
Yeah,
No
we need to visit it. Then,
when the enemies will be flowering in a couple of weeks.
in that case, that war, 4,000 people died, according to the book of Samuel.
Well, you have to remember, people fought each other, but they also married each other.
Yeah, I like your way of seeing it. Mordecai actually said, enemies, friends, or somewhere in between.
Well, here we've got. I wouldn't look at Samuel to give you the book of Samuel to give you the description. I rather would go to the book of Judges and Samson. And Samson is a Jewish Nazarite. That means he is. He doesn't drink wine. He doesn't have good fun.
Almost like a priest of today.
But he marries
a Philistine.
Philistine women.
Oh la la!
And he fights against the Philistines, and then he destroys the Philistine city.
Yeah.
So he lived with them, he married them, and he fought against them. It's very things were a lot more complicated than some of the books that we read lead us to believe, or some of the teachers that we have. When they summarize, it's not Israelites against and Canaanites, and even in this town is a Philistine town, and that came here in the 12th, 11th centuries in waves of immigration, and they took over from the Canaanites. But the Canaanites stayed here too.
It means
Why?
that
Because at the same levels where we have the same levels
of the town. Remember the city on top of a city?
Where we have Philistine remains, we also have Canaanite remains.
Then in that case, they
co-opted.
Yeah, they live together. They use the same pottery.
Not only that, the Philistines came here. They didn't bring the writing system for whatever reason. Maybe they didn't. Their priests and their king stayed behind. They used the local writing system, Proto-Phoenician. They wrote in a language very similar to Hebrew.
Well, just a moment. First of all, about the view. When we be on top of the Tel, we will talk about where are we now.
Are we going to get all the way up top? As close to the top as we're going to get.
Yes. Yeah. All right.
Like climbing Masada all over again.
Yeah. But it's unique, and what I like here, it's like it's virgin. They they excavate, but they didn't open it to the public.
You're too old for virgins, Safi.
They didn't open to the public. Then a lot of whatever you want to say, you can actually say about it. Let me see. When the Philistines captured the Ark of God, they brought it from Ebenezer to Ashdod. Ashdod, it's right there.
Yeah, right across.
Yeah. We just came from Ashdod. Mordecai and me, we went to visit one of the only important things in Ashdod, the Philistine Museum, which is nice. But if you want to see more of the Philistines, the Israeli Museum in Jerusalem.
They're sort of neglected, and they're given an evil outlook by Scripture. But if you look at the remains that they left, From Judea, you have these crude pots with stick-like figures of lions and birds of prey.
And fish.
No, that's
No?
in the Judite. In the Philistines, on the other hand,
yeah,
are
okay.
very, very delicate ceramics with
Beautiful.
pictures of ducks and flowers and
No, it's beautiful. yeah.
Fish. So the Bible is.
No,
look at it as
the
a-
Bible actually mentioned that they were more sophisticated, more
Yes.
than. We're talking about the city
they're
instead.
talking about the enemy. Again, the Bible's talking about an enemy. So it's not going to talk about.
It's not an history book. What you say, actually, that's what he
It's not a
means.
history book about who the Philistines were. In fact, all indications point to that the Philistines were multicultural, and they had God. Their head believed today that their head god was
A
not-
woman.
Was a woman.
Yeah, he's afraid to say a woman.
No, I'm not afraid. To say.
All right. True, I brought Israel up from, wait a minute, the land of Egypt, but also the Philistines from Kaftor. We actually believe that Kaftor, it's Crete.
Crete, yes.
And that's for the book of Amos.
Now, when I'm saying a female, I'm not trying to get the American discussion today of all the pronouns used. So that's that's going to be for another.
Yeah.
When I say female, I meant female.
Now, what I know that
Oh, look at this! We're getting to
to the white area,
white
caves.
stones. It's called the White City. This is
White city by whom? By the Arabs, and before that by the Crusaders who've been here
Yes.
too.
and we're
Because
gonna
look at
see
that, it's
some,
white.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
We're seeing a cavern system because
Wow.
this is made out of chalk. This mountain is made out of chalk. Very easy to dig. And what we see there, can you show them the
I'm
niches
showing
there?
you. Is it for birds?
I think that is, and underneath is an entrance into a larger cavern.
Oh, wow.
Do you want to go in first and see if there's snakes inside, or
Do you really think that I will be able to sneak in?
well,
I mean, look at
20 kilos less.
He's looking at me. He knows exactly how it looks like. I'm not gonna do that. But this is
There is a crawl space, and the history books don't talk about this being used by the Bar Kokhba rebellion, but maybe this
This
whole
is the
area,
area. This is the
Bar
area.
Kokhba, they couldn't fight the Roman legions head on. So what they would do is they would dig under these chalk hills. They would dig caverns to hide away, and they'd come out at night and attack the Romans at night. That's why the Romans hated them.
Yeah, it took the Romans 3 years to.
3 years, and they lost 2 legions on the first.
Yeah,
the
it
first
was
wave.
difficult for them.
Well, we can see a wall. We can already see a wall.
It is. We know that the Philistine city was down there as well.
Yes.
And we saw some excavation. I don't know. Is it from the time of the Arabs who've been here, or
No. That's the lower city. We're talking about. I know it doesn't sound a lot today. We're talking about a city at the height of its power of some estimated towards 10,000 people.
it's a big city at that time.
Yeah. Well, today it's it's.
Yeah, it's a
couple of
small
buildings,
village. Yeah, I
but
know.
Then it was a big thing. See, this is the thing about tour guides. Zahi asked me to talk, and I said, no, I don't want to talk. But being a tour guide, you always have to talk.
Yeah. And
That's the problem.
it's not a problem because I know that you love to talk, Mordecai. In our houses, it's usually yes or no.
Usually no.
Then in that case here we can actually talk. Let me see if there is something special to read.
No. Oh, what? Remember we
The
said
white chalk.
We thought it was going to be dove
Dove
coats
coats,
where
yeah.
they grew doves.
Columbarium.
That's where they grew doves for food.
But we don't know who did it.
No.
Na.
Could have been through the Arab times or the Byzantine Christians. Bar Kokhba, those.
It's beautiful.
One of the main, today everybody, farms have hen houses. Well, that time you used to eat pigeons, and if you don't kill the leader, and you keep giving them food every night, food and water, they always keep coming back.
Still here, but this time it's the Drara.
The Drara, these are
Yes.
invaders from India. that idiot brought them and released a few into the wild from his bird viewing place, and now they're covering the country. We have
With
two
it,
birds.
yeah. We have parrots now.
Parakeets and the mynas are destroying our local.
Local birds.
First of all, it's pretty.
It is pretty, I must say. And I love them singing. I don't know.
Yeah, but
she ran away from us.
yeah. Now under here it's kind of unstable.
Don't worry, I'm not going to.
But it would be fun to go in.
Yeah, I'm sure that there are some excavators that's what they're doing.
I got a couple of flashlights. You want to do it?
No. I trust you.
No, come on, Zahi.
I trust you.
Come on, Zahi. Zahi.
Next time.
I think now I've been here before. I haven't been here for a while. I think about 7 or 8 years since I.
Wait a minute. Stop there. Let me take a picture of you.
Picture of me. That's always good. There you go.
Oh.
Hair's getting too long. But
Okay. Did
next
it?
one, I promise.
Guys, if you want private tour with an amazing tour guide, it's me. I'm kidding. It's Mordecai.
No, he's the good one. I'm
Mordecai, I will leave.
He's the good one. I'm the fun one.
I will leave some information about him at the description. And if you won't find it,
old and fat.
yeah, old fat. And if you won't find it, ask me. I will give you his telephone number, his email. Mordecai, be the first one to die, please.
First one to die. Okay. Wow. With an invitation like that,
You cannot refuse.
But if you fall, I'm not picking you up.
No. But it's gonna be good for the video.
That's true. We'll sell a lot of copies, but I'll take the copyright.
Yeah. All right. What I must tell you is that in August, it's impossible. Yeah.
Don't come here in August.
Yeah. It won't be so green. It will be very quite brown.
Yeah, it'll be like this.
Yeah, it's and boring. Yeah, don't and hot and humid.
Look, guys. If you come in August and you want us to work, we work. But you're not going to enjoy it. We're not going to enjoy it.
Oh, look at that! Sheep.
What?
Sheep and goats.
Abraham flock.
Abraham. Can you see it? I don't know if you can see it here, but it's
By the
there.
way, a lot
It's
of
there.
these caves were used afterwards to keep sheep. Inside.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Look inside. You can actually see the black from candle and fires.
People live in caves, and I want you to understand that. You know, when I'm uploading a video of the Nativity Church, and I'm saying that the manger was a cave, people laugh at me because European. You know, when you've been tree number 3, yeah.
I don't think it was a cave.
There are people until today. I can show you caves that people use as a manger.
To live in and to keep.
To keep it full.
Like
Then in that case, it's happened a lot.
Okay, you see the Bedouin with their flocks of.
Yeah, it's. I think my camera now. I'm not sure because the sun is in my eyes. It's somewhere there, on top of the hill.
But I
Right there.
if you look downwards because there are a lot of open holes here.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that soon. All right. Let me survive.
Look at that.
It's beautiful. Like.
Top, but I think it would kind of be not that hard to defend a hilltop like this.
True. But it's such an amazing. I can understand the Tel Zafit is the white came from the word white. Now another thing I want you to talk about is the altar that we saw in the Philistine Museum, and I know that it came from here.
Okay.
Remember,
this is also about a little bit of my notion that everything comes from somewhere, and they found an altar here with 2 horns.
Not 4.
not like the four horns. They found something four horns from the 7th century BC.
True.
But from the 12th century BC, they found a big altar, like we had at the temple, but with
Jewish
two
temple.
horns. The Jewish temple,
Yeah.
but with two horns. Now, this is
His theory.
my theory, which is I'm going to try to prove somehow, some way, is that the two horns represent the major animal that was prayed to as God's representative on earth by many and various religions, including the Israelites.
All right.
And that is not the golden calf, it's the golden bull. The bull was prayed to in Egypt, in Canaan, in Syria, and in Greece.
All over that place.
All over.
Then
the
to find in
Mediterranean.
Mount Sinai a golden.
A golden, not calf, it's a bull.
Yeah, but it's
Why? Because that was God's representative on earth. From Egypt, there were three bull worshipping religions. The major one called Apis, and that is and he was created by Hathor,
the main goddess.
and from a ray of sunlight.
From what? A ray of sunlight?
Ray of sunlight came down to Hathor, and then the bull was conceived.
All right.
So that's a very ancient Egyptian religion. So the bull worshipping we know that from Crete, of course, the bull dancers. Today you probably don't understand why the bull was revered so much, but had you been around here a few thousand years ago, the most powerful animal that you would come across, the most dangerous, the most godly, did whatever he wanted, was the bull.
We had no lions here.
No, the lions were small, and the bull would. A lion was no match for a bull. You need a pride of lions to take a bull, not a lion. That's a death sentence for the lion, a bull.
Can you understand that we're climbing now?
Yeah, I can.
One of the major Philistine city. No, really?
Yeah.
Already?
Yeah.
Because it's not so difficult.
So why are you having an asthma attack?
Do you have an asthma anyhow? I'm living with it. It's not really difficult to climb yet.
Nah, it's fine. By the way, if you got kids, they love these kind of places. We got Tel Zafit is a very important place, but we've got in Israel we go 5 kilometers. We've got the ancient city of Gezer, and then we've got the city of Emmaus. Everywhere we could spend a day in a 5-mile radius.
All right, let's see.
Okay.
For the book of Tanya, what is important for us is this is a word of the Lord against you. O Canaan, land of Philistines, I will lay you waste without inhabitants.
By the way, if the etymology of Philistine, if you're looking at a Hebrew origin.
Oh yeah.
And not
diminutive.
Not Indo-European, like people think that the Philistines came from. Philistine was one out of 5 tribes of people called the Sea people. That's according to the documents.
We don't know the
that's
name.
According to the documents left by Ramses III in Egypt, Lakash, Danino, I don't remember all of the names, and the Philistines. In Hebrew, again, I don't know if we're using that word correctly or not, but Philistine in Hebrew is Pelesh.
Yes.
And Polesh means an invader.
Invaders.
Again, I don't know if that is...
No, but I think the Egyptian used the word invaders as well.
Yes, they did, but they had a different word for invader.
Yeah, true. But Philistine, if you are trying to translate it into Hebrew, it's the one that invaded.
Yeah, again, I don't know if that's what they called themselves or if...
No, I think that's the nickname that we gave them.
Yeah.
Because we don't know a lot of them. We have
That's what Ramses III.
a lot of speculation.
By the way, everywhere you go, you can see little
Clay.
shards. You see? Can you
Yeah, but
get
this
the
is
sunlight?
yeah, but this is look like a
No, that's Byzantine. You see that little brush stroke? That can you make that out?
Yeah.
That's the brush stroke to make the jar a little bit prettier, because in that times these jars that they made out of clay, they were like single-use stuff today, except then they were biodegradable 100%.
and he threw it to the ground. Looks like a stone of a wall or something like that.
Here is a wall.
Yeah.
Now, you cannot date a wall because the stone is 60 million years old.
True.
How do you date walls? By finding stuff right underneath it and dating
Clays,
carbon dating
coins, yes.
with maybe a building that is attached to it.
And you can see a lot of
I've
walls.
seen doctors of archaeology missed by 2,000 years.
Well,
Okay.
I'm not going to miss it because I don't know.
So we're not going to say. If we don't know, we're not
Yeah,
going to say.
Yeah. But we know that the city of the Philistines were down there and up there, up here with a big wall. And how they been conquered? Is there a story about the canal here?
The canal, they
5 meters canal, like 15 feet?
5 meters deep, 4 meters wide, 5 meters deep. 5 meters wide. That's 15 feet by 12 feet deep. There was a canal around.
They didn't build a wall of
That's by Hazael.
Hazael.
The Syrian, not the Assyrian, the Syrian, he built a wall so that nobody would be
No,
able
not
to,
a wall.
He built a ditch
A ditch.
so that nobody would be able to come in or out or attack their forces that were gathering behind or bring food into the city.
But it shows you that it was a very important place.
Again, the Bible doesn't talk about it, but this was the second. This was a very big major center, and it was never conquered by the kings of Judea.
True. True.
Again, the Bible just says, oh, it was conquered by Hazael in his invasion. That's it. They don't say anything more about the city. Not how big or powerful, nothing.
I love that day.
Oh, the smell. We can't send you the smell of the thyme and the rosemary growing wild here. That we
Yes.
can't. The smell of that we can't send you. You smell it? Sam?
Yeah. I can still smell it. Who thought I'm gonna do that today?
What?
Who thought that I'm gonna do that today? I was supposed to be with my daughter. But I decided to go with. Oh, look how beautiful it is. Mordecai to the nature.
To investigate.
To investigate. Love it.
You know what that is? That's
Oh!
where the king lived.
That's where we are supposed to reach.
No, we don't have to. But-
Yeah, but the view from there is amazing.
Okay.
We can actually go straight ahead.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a hike. They don't have to listen to the next half hour. Let's go. Chugging up the hill.
But it's like when we are doing it, they can feel what's happening now.
Okay, but I'm not going to talk for this.
Okay, all right then.
How do you want to do it? You want to go around with the path, or you want to walk straight through?
I think that straight through it looks okay.
Yeah, we're not allowed to do that with clients, but
All right.
right now we can do it.
Don't tell anyone. In front of you can see the remains from the Arabic village. Those are two Muslims
They're Muslim graves.
graves.
But they could be using stones that were cut
Yeah.
2,000 years before.
Why not if it's already here?
You don't throw out a good stone.
Gosh, it's hot.
Yeah, it's getting hot.
I know that in Europe and in America, it's freezing now. But look at me, short sleeves and
Typical January in Asia.
uh,
And
this This is the time to visit Israel.
Ahead of us, you can see all the stone fields, and look up on the hill.
Yeah, I tried to show it to them.
That's where the major section of the Philistine city was.
Hey, we're going there.
Yeah, turn it off.
All right. Well, we're almost on top of the Tel, and although I cannot breathe a lot, Mordecai.
We can see now, seeing to your right, Zahi. Here we have houses, the stone structures built by the Philistines, and you can see above it you have mud, because again you get layers upon layers. But these are already houses
Of
on
Gath.
the side of the hill.
And I know that the city been destroyed, then the houses kept like that.
They crumbled inwards.
Yeah, they didn't use it later on.
This city was really went through great destruction. It was in 803 BC by Hazael. So that was very horrible for the inhabitants, but very good for the archaeologists, because they found the whole houses intact with their household gods, with their beer mugs,
Yeah,
with the
and
food that they had.
and I believe that the temple was on top of the hill.
Usually, normally in this part of the world, the king or governor's palace and the temple would be on top of the hill.
Yes.
But unfortunately, every invader that came afterwards and built something,
Yeah, destroy it.
built on top of
Yeah.
it. Much harder to find.
But we are climbing to the top.
Yeah, Zahi, if you can make it.
We are gonna do that for you. Forgot to mention, if you are already still watching it, it's like 30 minutes of the video.
Yeah, and then we got a big electric station there.
Please, yeah, subscribe to my channel, be part of the family. And yes, this is electricity.
It's on gas,
Yeah,
natural gas.
True, natural gas. And
It's privately owned, by the way. It's not
from the
private.
way to Tel Aviv, from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, you can actually see it. Then we are very close to the highway.
Nothing is far from the highway in Israel. Okay.
This is from Jeremiah. Let's see what he's actually talking about the Philistines, what he's saying about it. Because of the day that it's coming for ravaging all the Philistines, for cutting off every last ally of Tyre and Sidon. We're going there. You talked about it before.
I've been there, but I don't think I'm going to be welcome there. Again.
Don't talk about it, please. He was there as a soldier.
My tank doesn't work anymore. I don't know if I can go to Tyre. I'm in Lebanon right now.
Then, for the Lord will ravage the Philistines.
The remnant from the island of Kaftor.
Again, creates.
Baldness has come upon Gaza. That means it's empty. Ashkelon is destroyed. O remnant of their valley, how long will you gash yourself? So Jeremiah is talking about, this is after, this we're talking about, they were destroyed in 600 and something by Nebuchadnezzar.
Yeah, and we can see the city of Ashdod.
20 years before Jerusalem was destroyed.
And Gaza and Ashkelon, it's there.
There,
Yeah.
they're behind the hills.
Yeah. And we did it.
Yeah, almost.
Oops. Wait a minute.
Accidents happen on the way down, Zahi.
Yeah, well, what's happened to my telephone? Wait a minute, let me organize it. He's drinking water.
Water.
And he said that a lot of clays here.
yeah.
Yeah. A lot of clay remains here.
Everywhere there's clay.
Yeah.
Now, one thing about the Bible talks about, which people sort of forget, everybody here was related. So
What do you mean by that?
What do I mean by that?
Yeah.
The Edomites, the Ammonites, the Canaanites, the Jebusites, the Israelites, the Judahites, they had some very similar customs. In fact, they were all circumcised.
Except of
The Philistines.
the Philistines. Yeah.
That's the one way you can really tell them apart.
Well, do you think that we are not supposed to walk here?
Danger, no passage now, but somebody knocked it to the ground, so obviously we're allowed to go.
All right. The Philistines did it. That the Philistines didn't sacrifice. It actually tells us that they are not from here.
Yeah, because by the way, that's an Egyptian practice. But never mind. That's going way off course.
It's so beautiful here. Think about families who've been here. I don't know what language they spoke.
We have no record, but
Yeah.
they adopted the local
Canaanite language.
Canaanite, which is Hebrew is also Canaanite.
Yeah, we found a lot of. True. We found.
Don't tell that to any Israeli or Palestinian. I don't like that either. That Hebrew is a Canaanite dialect.
We're part of them.
You see, it's kind of challenging to be with me a little bit.
Yeah. That's what I love with Mordecai.
I'm always looking for the other.
He's not
Another
following the book.
explanation.
He's following the books and the researchers and the scholars. And he's actually studying all the theories. Oh, I can see the city of Modin.
Oh, that's far.
There.
Now I know why they built the city here.
Oh, Bet Shemesh or Modin?
Shemesh.
Bet Shemesh. Yeah, Bet Shemesh. Which is another biblical city. Remember, Bet Shemesh was in a way the border between Philistine and.
And that was the tribe of Judah.
Yeah.
But it's also Beit Shemesh. Shamash is the Canaanite sun god. So
Yeah,
that's the
true.
place of sun worship.
Yeah. Then that was the border between Judea and Philistine, and you can see.
No, that in between was no.
What?
In between was the tribe of Dan.
Before he ran away.
That's where Samson was.
Yeah.
In between here and there, that's where Samson
Yeah, but
was.
Dan disappeared to the north.
Yeah,
moved to the
this
north.
is the area of Samson, in between
Yes.
here and there.
Yeah.
Because the Judahites from Beit Shemesh arrested him and turned him over.
True.
They
Then,
turned him over.
and the ark
The Ark of the Covenant.
was there too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
So
the
this
city
is the
of
area
Jerusalem is somewhere there. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're climbing up to the top of the Tel.
You have to go down to go up.
No, that's not a problem. We can roll down.
So the water we didn't talk about, but probably they carved out big caverns to take winter runoff.
But we didn't find here until now any water system. Yeah.
But probably into some of those caverns that we saw before.
Mm-hmm. There's a kind of a wadi, a small river down there. But it's very difficult to live here without water. Let's take left. There's a let's not destroy that green.
That's a stupid idiot on
Yeah, I don't want to destroy the green grass. All right. Upstairs, you will be able to see the area of Gaza, Ashkelon, Ashdod, and Tel Aviv. I came with the jeans.
Don't promise what you don't know.
Now I can see the signs.
Can you see Tel Aviv?
I think it was Tel Aviv. If not, I will show them where Tel Aviv was.
The direction.
Direction of.
Now, the tour guide way to say it, on a good day we can
Yes.
see to Damascus. It's not a good enough day, I'm sorry.
Yeah, true. That's from the Golan Heights.
That's the tour guide.
But from the Golan Heights, it's actually 60 kilometers. Or 60 miles.
60 kilometers.
Kilometers. They're not so far away. Oh, Ekron. We're talking about the 5th important Philistine cities here.
Now we're going to have a prayer up top.
Gosh, we did it.
Yeah, we're going to have a thank you prayer that we made it to the top.
We did it with love. Crusader fortress. Dan, tell me a little bit about it. Where?
Okay. The Crusaders came here, and then they got kicked out
By Saladin.
by Salah ad-Din. This was the border with the Egyptians. This area was the border line. That was why fortifications were put up top here. Therefore, because to the south, that's the south. The Egyptians were, and this is the border area. So this was a Crusader fortress up top here. Salah ad-Din, 1187, destroyed it. 5 years later comes Richard the Lionhearted.
Yes, the third
Retakes the
Crusader.
coast, and this is as far inland as he gets. and he fortifies this again. Then the Mamluks come, destroy that. That's for another. We need a whole other video.
Yeah, it actually exists until in the way we can.
Okay, and we'll talk about the Crusaders and
Yeah.
Salahuddin and the Mamluks and the day maybe in Caesarea. Or,
Ta-da-da! We did it!
yeah.
We did it! It's so pity that it's in Hebrew only.
By the way, up top there, you see
Let's see from
they got metal stuff in there, knives and spears. They're made out of metal. The Bible is telling us that the Israelites and the Judahites, they fought with stone. Stones, the only place that you could get something done with metal, iron edge, yes, but not for us. All the blacksmiths were the Philistines.
Yes.
So you have to go there and pay the blacksmith to get your spear to go attack the Philistines. It's kind of funny, but see, it's happening today too in the arms industry.
Yeah, indeed. Oh, wait. And in that case, Ashkelon is there.
Right there.
Yeah, straight ahead. And Carmel is not important for us. No, it's not important for us. But you can see the water system of Kfar Menachem.
Yeah, that's a reservoir, and they clean. We reuse 90% of our city water, and they're reusing it. They're reclaiming it.
Yeah, and city of Ekron.
That would be already by the way, if you could get in between, that's already the Tel Aviv area.
Far away.
Yes. To.
Yeah, in a good day you can see it.
On a very good day.
Then the fifth Philistine cities, let's see. We are at Gath. Ekron is that way. Ashdod, we already saw it. No, yeah, here it is. Ashdod, it's there. Ashkelon, we already saw. It's there as well. And what left for us? Gaza. Gaza was a Philistine city, now it's a Palestinian city.
When are we going to go do a tour of ancient sites of Gaza?
Let's go and see that. I think we did it once. No, it wasn't with you? No, it wasn't with you. It was with someone else. Let's do that. Let's do
a tour of Gaza.
Yeah. We are not going into Gaza, but around Gaza.
Tour. It's a one-way tour. Well,
one-way tour. And a lot of farms here. It's beautiful.
No, we'll sit down for a couple of minutes and we'll start heading down.
All right. Thank you very much. Then that's the end of the tour for us. It's only 42 minutes.
Now you can have a guess at home if we made it down or not.
If you see more of the videos, then you will know that we succeeded. Thank you very much. And if you want to support that channel, you can do that because you reached more than 40 minutes. It means that you knows what you are talking about via Buy Me a Coffee and via PayPal. And now lately, look for a beautiful sign of a heart just next to the like that you are going to push. And you can donate or support me by that. But the most important thing is to be part of our family. Then thank you very much for being with us.